let's talk a little bit about college. Do you have a teen in your life that's going off to college? I know my nephew, he's a senior now, and it's a super important year. He's getting ready for his SATs. He'll be taking pretty soon, and he's already applying for different scholarships and things like that. He's looking at whittling down his college choices. But I think something that's so important is to ensure that your students are taking the time to really think about those different colleges that they're interested in. And yes, going to a prestigious college is good, or university is important, at least to me. But you also want to look at that culture of that school. You also want to look at the climate of the environment of where the actual school is located, because is it the kind of area you want to live in? Is it rural? Is it more of a city vibe? Is the college set apart and separated, or is it just weaved into the city? Like, I'm in Georgia, and so, like, for example, Georgia State is weaved into the city, and maybe you want something that you feel that's a little bit set apart. Is the community that you will live in, do they embrace the college and the college students, or is there a bit of a divide, which you can find in some places? Is it a party school, or a school that's maybe not known for that? You have to weigh a lot of different things, and it's not just the name recognition of the university. Are you looking at other things? If you're interested in sports, do they have good sports teams so you can participate in games and things like that? There's just a lot of things to weigh. If you can, definitely get out, visit those colleges. A lot of the colleges and universities have summer programs where they have opportunities for students to get exposed and stay at the college in the summer, whether it's a couple of days or a couple of weeks. It's nothing like getting a little taste of what it's like to be in that particular college. Are you looking at the demographic makeup of the school? Because you may want to be at a school where there are lots of people that are similar to you, but of course they're going to be different as well, because there are differences even when we have similarities that and things in common. So many things to weigh. It's a big decision, and I think it's important for everybody to keep an open mind, because your kids, those teenagers in your life, they're going to be looking to you for support and guidance, and you want to make sure you're not bringing any biases into the picture, so that you can really help them as they make the decision, because they're going to be the one that's living at that college. They're the ones that's living in the dorms or the apartments, or maybe even at home, and ultimately it should be their decision. But of course it has to be a sound decision, looking at the financial picture. Does your student know about filling out the FAFSA and different places where you can find free money and things like that? If you have a senior or even a student that's not quite there yet, it's never too early to start, because it really makes it easier if you can decide where you want to go early, because you can already know what those requirements are, and as you're in high school you can work towards making sure that you're doing everything that's going to help you to be successful, to have a good shot at getting into that college. Same thing with looking at careers and doing research, using things like the Occupational Outlook Handbook. In Georgia, we have Georgia Futures, and a lot of school systems buy different platforms so that students can have access to information that'll help them to make a career decision, because it's the same idea. If you know you want to be an attorney, then you can focus your activities. Like, you can be involved with things like mock trial, but also not limiting yourself by doing things like sports or marching band. And there's a lot of opportunities, but the better prepared you are, the more knowledge you have a leg up on the competition. And yes, it is a competition when you get to looking at post-secondary options at a lot of schools, especially when we start talking about the top schools. No matter if we're looking at liberal arts schools, you're looking at private or public, whoever's at the top, it's competitive to get in. Just wanted to share a few tips and things like that you could share with your students. Make sure you're having those conversations early and often. Make sure you're listening, if you're the adult, to what that child is thinking, what they're feeling. I had to do some training today, and one thing they talked about is how often kids just don't feel heard. Like no one's just listening to what they have to say and giving them a chance to just have their say. Just some friendly advice, I think, that's relevant to lots of people that may be going through the same thing right now. All right, peace and love. Bye.